So last year I had the opportunity of using a new trimmer rack and a new blower rack that I'd never used before. Today I'm going to kind of show you the two different options that I've used over the past few years and kind of tell you why I decided to go with one trimmer rack over the other one. So almost 3 years to the day I bought these Green Touch trimmer racks. These racks I bought because of their safety. They looked really cool. I really thought they'd keep my stuff nice and locked up and secure, and they have. So the way these trimmer racks work is they have a bracket right here that fits right on your trimmer, and what that does is it locks it into place on the rack, and it's nice and secure. You have this lock up here which locks the whole rack. You have a padlock right here, it locks the whole rack as well. I did a full video on this one back 3 years ago. I'm gonna put that link right up here somewhere. You guys can check that out if you wanna reference that video. So last year I had a company called Equipment Defender that got in touch with me. They wanted to send me some trimmer racks. They wanted to send me the blower rack. They wanted me to try it out, test it out, see what I thought. So what I did is I took the old trimmer racks off, the old Green Touch racks, put these racks on. The first thing I noticed, the very similar product. They have a locking system just like the other one does. They have a bracket that goes on your trimmer, goes into here. Basically the same system. These actually came with the engine mounts. Those, back when I bought them, they did not come with the engine mounts. I bought the engine mounts separate. I do think the Green Touch racks nowadays come standard with the engine mount. So once I got the Equipment Defender racks in the shop, I mounted them on the trailer. I wanted to do that as quickly as possible. I wanted to see how they measure up to the racks that I have been using previously. One thing I noticed, it's a little bit more difficult installing the Equipment Defender racks. Not hard, just a little bit more difficult. With the Green Touch racks, basically it's just a bunch of self-tapping screws. You put them in there, brackets, everything, you're good to go. With the Equipment Defender racks, you have to drill holes down into your trailer, and you have to actually cut some of this angle iron off on the trimmer racks to make it fit your trailer. But I do want to point out, not that difficult to install these, just a little bit more difficult than the Green Touch rack. So for me, one of the biggest differences between these two trimmer racks is the way you have to mount them and the height that they are. So the Green Touch racks, they mount from the outside. The Equipment Defender racks, they mount on the inside of your trailer. And for that reason, they can only, they have to be so high. You can't put them down as low as you can the Green Touch racks, which make this top rack right here. It's right here, it's eye level. I can lock it right here. It's right about level with my head. Now the Equipment Defender racks are a little bit higher. So here I am reaching up there almost as far as I can, and I'm barely touching the lever to lock it. Now I can still get the trimmer off and I can still lock it, not a huge deal. But at the time I had an employee working with me, actually my lead guy, and he was about 5'3", 5'4", I'm guessing on a good day, and he couldn't reach that. So he couldn't get the top trimmer off, he couldn't lock it. And not a huge deal, just had the other guys do it, but for me, it's a little bit deal breaking whenever my lead guy cannot make sure that that's secure and he can't get the top trimmer off. I don't want that. I want all my guys to be able to do this, and I don't want to have to make exceptions on my trimmer racks. Okay, so here is the blower rack from Equipment Defender. This rack is built like a tank, very well built. It does keep the blower nice and secure. Doesn't jostle around at all, and I think it'd be very hard to steal something if it's enclosed in this. Basically how it works is you would set your blower in there, and this kind of just stays where it's at, and you can kind of adjust this around to whatever blower you have so it will fit nice and tight. So you set your blower in there, you release this part here comes down and kind of clamps over the top of your blower. Here is the combination lock on it, and just like with both racks, now that's the old Green Touch trimmer rack. It only comes with a key, but the newer ones you can do a combination or a key, just like Equipment Defender, and I really like the combination. You don't have to worry about losing a key or anything like that. So the combination, my opinion, is the way to go. Another thing that I didn't like about this backpack blower rack is it's made nice and bulky, but with that it's big and bulky. So what happens is you can kind of see it takes up, probably 8 to 10 inches of the trailer. And some of these trailers, we pack full with mowers. So kind of our go-to setup on a lot of yards was we'd have the 52 in the back, the 48 and the 36 up here, and you can barely fit the 48 and the 36 up here. And with this rack right here, we couldn't do that. So we couldn't take both mowers, and I didn't want to put a rack on here and have to come back to the shop to switch out mowers. Just wasn't worth it for me. Now obviously we could have moved some things around on the trailer a little bit better, kind of organized, probably a little bit better. But honestly, I just didn't want to go through that hassle, so we just ended up taking this thing off and we just didn't use it. So after a couple weeks, I took the Equipment Defender racks off the trailer, put the Green Touch racks back on. The biggest reason was just the height issue. Didn't really like the height issue, didn't want to have to kind of work around that. And honestly, I just kind of thought to myself, well, I didn't really have a problem with the Green Touch racks before. I didn't have any issues, but I did want to try something new, but it wasn't as good as what I was using, so that's why I went back to the Green Touch racks. So I will say, I contacted Equipment Defender on their trimmer racks and told them my one complaint. They told me they are working on a bracket so that you'd be able to mount them on the outside of the trailer. Therefore, you can kind of lower them a little bit and they won't be as high. So like I said, the Equipment Defender racks are very well built. They're very well designed. They do what they're supposed to do. But my thought is, why go to something that you're gonna have to kind of deal with rather than have something that you previously had and you loved and you didn't have one problem with. So that's why I'm going back with my Green Touch racks. And actually just a couple weeks ago, Green Touch contacted me, asked me if I wanted a set of the new trimmer racks and the new backpack blower rack. So I'm super excited to try out the new Green Touch stuff that I got. I'll be making a video probably next week on how to install this stuff, and then I'll make a video later on in the year, kind of how I like it, kind of a review. That kind of stuff. So look forward to that. So I do want to say thank you to Equipment Defender for giving me the opportunity to try out your equipment. I do want to say thank you to Green Touch for giving me this equipment to test out. I look forward to it, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.